Hi, today's video is about the rhubarb plants that Penny gave me 6 months ago. She gave me two rhubarb babies. One of them I put into the raised garden bed that gets full sun and has beautiful free draining soil. The other I put at a ground level bed, gets sun from about 11 o'clock onwards, nice soil but not as free draining as the raised garden bed. This picture is the rhubarb that went in the raised garden bed. Gorgeous looking large leaves. Each leaf is about 50 centimetres long by about 48 centimetres wide. Has very short stems though. Dr. Google suggests that large leaves with short stems is a sign that there's not getting enough water. That could be correct in my case because I planted it in autumn and I don't tend to water my garden over winter. And apart from the last drench of rain, I don't water it. As you can see, I've got garlic and onions ready to harvest. I'm not putting water near that rhubarb until I get to harvest it. Reminds me of a dachshund, this. Cute big leaves are the cute big ears and the short stubby legs are the stems. My young friend Jonty would probably like my rhubarb because I think he likes dogs. This picture is the rhubarb that went at the ground level bed. As you can see, it's quite immature compared to the rhubarb in the raised garden bed. I'll need to rethink where I'm going to grow the rhubarb. Location-wise, I like the ground level bed, but there's not much point growing it there if it's not going to produce. Maybe I'll just need to bite the bullet and keep it in the raised garden bed. Penny also gave me some more rhubarb from her own garden so that I can cook it up. Very kind of her. When it comes to cooking, I'm using Helen's recipe. Helen's a very good cook and she's recommended not boiling it on the stove, but baking it in the oven because the texture is nicer. She's also suggested that honey is a good thing to cook with instead of sugar. Linda gave me some raw honey and there's a jar of it on the far left hand side of the photo. I basted the baking dish on the left with honey and the baking dish on the right I used raw sugar, and the jar on the far right I thought might be nice if I fermented that in the raw honey and made some jam. I baked each of the rhubarbs, the sugar and the honey, for about an hour and a half in the oven or until it was soft and tender, and just put the jar of rhubarb and honey in the fridge. And the fun part was taste testing. The bowl on the left had the honey and the bowl on the right had the sugar. They both tasted nice, but I do think that the honey tasted nicer. Well done, Helen. But in defence of the sugar, I probably underdosed it. Possibly should have put a bit more sugar on. The fermenting, I was so impatient. After a week, I couldn't wait any longer. I wanted to make the jam. Maybe fermenting isn't for me. So I had the oven on for another meal and decided to put that small contents of the small jar of rhubarb into the oven, baked it up, put it in my food processor, whipped it up. So good as jam. Penny, you've got to make that. Thank you for watching.